know, when they first started to make what we know as hip hop and taking over music, you know, like this from Pharoah Sanders. Pharoah Sanders, you know, my old son Rod, he was the first person to ever use an electric keyboard, his brother. You know what I'm saying? It's Pharoah Sanders. Jazz. Back to the hip hop. You know, y'all really don't, you know, y'all probably can't vibe to this, you know, so y'all probably listening like, you know what I'm saying? What we did when we would take this older music, you know, and we revamp it, you know what I'm saying? You know, give it a new life and speak it to a new generation, you know what I'm saying? To where, you know, you can bridge that gap. Y'all can feel that drum beat though. You know, that sounds like a lot of stuff y'all rock with. It sounds like a lot of stuff you listen to. A lot of stuff y'all hear, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop is that bridge, you know what I'm saying, between the elders, what they say, the generation gap. Hip hop kills the generation gap. You know what I'm saying? What's how many of y'all know the song? What's the song with Drake and
I'm on one.
Poetic Justice. And how many of y'all heard that Janet Jackson song before you heard that song? How many of y'all even know that was a Janet Jackson song they sampled?
I seen that.
You know what I'm saying? You seen it in the movie. You seen it in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop always bridges that gap. You know, maybe not in the best way, but hip hop is always bridging that gap and connecting you to the past. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do, you know what I'm saying? It's my shit. So hip hop is definitely more than just you listening to a song. It's a lot going on, you know, especially when we dealing with samples. You know, I don't know how many of y'all ever been around some hip hop equipment? As much as we. Been around some hip hop equipment? Yeah. You made beats before? You made beats before? No. You just be around it?
Well, I made beats before on the drum set.
Yeah. You play drums? What's up? Hip hop is simple. Share that with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop, right. You know what I'm saying? Start, man. Start.
All right. We on chapter 10. Look. Everybody got their book. Everybody got their book.
No, we need books. We pass them out.
Somebody has to do that.
Always passing out books and current events. Y'all want to talk about what's going on?
A lot of
stuff. You ain't hear the 84 shooters that happened in Chicago? And 4 people got killed? You ain't hear about the 3,000 residents in Detroit that got their water shut off?
25,000 people in Brazil being evicted so people can watch the World Cup. You know, it's a lot of things going on.
Well, they got y'all distracted with that LeBron James.
You know
know what I mean? They got everything. There's other things that's going on in this world they don't want to talk about. Y'all ain't ready for that, man. They about to shut off everybody's water. They letting you know what time. They got y'all distracted on LeBron James. I just want to keep y'all current what's going on.
Definitely alternative media, because that's what Facebook is. It's turning into us being the media. That's one of the good things of it. Whenever you post something, you a news anchor. You got your fans or your audience. You know what I'm saying? So even the things that you choose to put out there can be powerful. You know what I'm saying? Especially be a lot of Amber Alerts and stuff on there. Make sure y'all share that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's the real. You the news. You are the news. It's more than social media. You are the news. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I treat mine like a straight breaking news flash. That's all I do on my page. You know what I'm saying? Spread good information, put info out there.
Everybody turn to page 59, the Hip Hop X-Files, and we're going to be talking about R. Kelly.
Oh, man. 59?
Kills.
Yeah. Bye.
Kills. Here.
Anybody want to start?
I'll start.
All right.
The Hip Hop X-Files, subject R. Kelly, case number 1. Topic, the Mojo. For some time now, I've avoided writing any articles pertaining to R. Kelly and the sex scandal that he's been facing, mainly because I felt it was a little too early to speculate or rush to judgment. I know by now you're probably saying too early to rush to judgment. Then you see the tape black dot. Then you see the tape black dot. That's him, and he's guilty. On the surface, I will have to agree with you, but is it really that simple? Is anything the media parades in front of our television set these days, especially when it involves young black males, really that simple? Or is it deeper than that? Is there an underlying motive or message that most of us are missing? Could our eyes possibly be deceiving us? Is this really about underage girls or more about shutting down R. Kelly's energy and the power that this black man possesses over millions of people? After further study, I decided to open up what I'll call the Hip Hop X-Files to get to the bottom of this. Now, if you're familiar with the X-Files television series, you know that nothing is what it seems. In fact, it wouldn't be an X-File at all if there wasn't something strange about the case. Not every case that comes across my desk is a Hip Hop X-File, but this one had all the makings of a classic case. From the media coverage to the fans' response, positive and negative, to the timing of the charges, to the leaking of the tape itself, to his annulled marriage to an underage girl, Aaliyah, to him settling out of court with 2 other women to keep their mouths shut. From the day that he came on national television to deny all the charges, even though the whole world saw the tape, even stating that he's been set up, to his re-emergence onto the scene, to the recent pictures and new charges. Everything just didn't add up. I know it seemed like everything does add up. And when you consider all the evidence and behavior just mentioned, this appears to be an open and shut case, right? Wrong. I told you that this is the Hip Hop X-File. That will be too easy of a case to solve. The show would be over before we even went to commercial break. The more X-Files we uncover together, the more you'll learn that anything that receives this much media coverage and is the topic of everyone's conversation can also be used as a tool of misdirection. That's what y'all was just saying about the LeBron James. While most people are looking one way, the truth about what's really going on concerning R. Kelly is hidden somewhere else. Therefore, when dealing with an X-File, you must learn to think outside the box and go against the grain of the populace to even be on the right track. If everyone is going left, you must go right. If everyone is thinking up, you must think down. If everyone is saying yes, you must say no. This will at least put us in uncharted territory so that we can build a case independent of the masses and control our own thought destiny. This is essential because the media controls the popular view. It tells you how to think, what to think, and based on the information that it provides for you to process through its many outlets, it can easily be predetermine what conclusion you'll come to concerning R. Kelly, or any other person for that matter. All the while making you think that these were your own thoughts, and you came up with this conclusion on your own. This is a science that has been mastered by those who control the media. This science is practiced successfully every day, from the 9/11 attacks, see Jadakiss, to the sniper killings, to Saddam Hussein and the war on terrorists. Rule number 1, trust no one, especially not the media, and know that any information that is released to the public through the media has been carefully written, proofread, rehearsed, and delivered in such a manner that it will have the maximum effect on its intended target, whether the effect is joy, pain, sympathy, compassion, or in this case, anger and hate. The worst kind of predator is the one who preys on little children, stealing their innocence and destroying their lives forever. Just the thought alone of someone doing something horrible to your children is enough to fill you with anger and hate for that person. So when the media called R. Kelly a pedophile, most people saw red and were too emotionally distraught to reason with him on any level, especially after seeing the tape for themselves, which conveniently hit the streets around the same time the story broke. The question is, how much of it is truth and how much of it is propaganda? How much of it has been relayed to the public to keep us looking in the wrong direction, or aimed at our emotions to the point that we want to lynch R. Kelly before he's being found guilty of any of the charges? This is an X-file. The truth is not on the surface. We must go deeper. Instead of taking the normal popular approach to the subject, which is R. Kelly is a pedophile, he needs help. He should go to jail for what he did, or he's a sexual predator of the worst kind. I decided that I would try not to even address the above charges at all unless I absolutely have to. For instance, as a point of reference to an even deeper subplot to this whole mess. Yet it should also be mentioned that he could very well be all of the above and then some. That's for a court of law to decide. But to keep beating you in the head with the same information over and over again in every publication that you watch, read, or listen to only reiterates and further serves the purpose of those looking to control the outcome of your thought process. So before you can view the case of this hip-hop X-file objectively, you must throw out everything you think you know about R. Kelly and the charges he's facing. Once you're able to successfully do so, you may find out that this case has nothing to do with the child pornography at all. It may have more to do with what R. Kelly has than what he did. If you're ready, let's open the case file and see what's popping. First, the nature of the charges is what strikes me. Child pornography. Not only is this an atrocious crime against innocent little children, but it's also a crime that those who control the media use very effectively to discredit and destroy the reputation of the accused. Not everyone charged with child pornography or being a pedophile is guilty, but to merely be accused of such a crime is enough to destroy your life forever. And maybe that was the intent. Maybe that was the intention all along. If R. Kelly had been charged with any other crimes such as drug trafficking, gun possession, murder, tax evasion, and in some cases even rape of a woman of age, this would have done nothing to destroy his reputation. In fact, his reputation might have grown in the streets, because that's what the hood calls keeping it real. Case in point, Mike Tyson and Tupac Shakur. The rape sentences they faced only served as temporary setbacks in their careers, as the community rallied around them to show support, which seemed to catapult their stardom even higher. Their attackers were not able to use these charges to put the final nail in their coffin. On the other hand, if you're accused of being a pedophile, the feelings are mutual across the board, from mother to thug to gangster. We lose our mind when it comes to the thought of sexually abusing little children. Michael Jackson suffered the wrath of being labeled as a pedophile, and his career has been in a downward spiral ever since. So one can begin to see how effective these accusations can be for someone if they were out to destroy you. The feds can run up in your crib right now and confiscate your computer and charge you with downloading child pornography, and whether you're innocent or not, the damage has already been done. Or better yet, they can run up in your crib and confiscate the R. Kelly that R. Kelly video that you left in your VCR and legitimately charge you with possession of child pornography, and it's a wrap. Second of all, the timing of the charges was an indication that he was being systematically destroyed. These charges were brought to light right before possibly the biggest album of his career was about to be released, The Best of Both Worlds. R. Kelly lost millions of dollars in tour money, endorsements, and record sales, to say the least. This is just another part of the destruction process. 1, kill the reputation, and 2, drain the finances. Along with the millions of dollars needed to fight the legal battle, if Kelly somehow survives this, he could very well be broke when it's all said and done. This is the exact same destruction program used to bring down Michael Jackson, O.J. Simpson, Tyson, and P. Diddy. The timing of the second set of charges proved to be equally as damaging. He was arrested on the set of his new video for Ignition, which at the time was the most important video of his career because it was his comeback video. Even though the pictures from his camera were evidence confiscated during the initial seizure, it hadn't been made public until the time of his new release. Why? Could it be that his new album, Chocolate Factory, was going to be hot, and along with it, the Ignition video could serve as the first stepping stone to rebuilding his reputation and winning back the many fans that he lost? Wait, it gets deeper. They found 12 photos. His bail was set at $12,000, and the date that he was charged was January 22nd, which when you take the first 2 digits of the date, you also get the number 12. That's 12, 12, and 12. 12 is a multiple of the number 6. When you add up the three numbers, you get the number 36, or all depending on how you see the number, 3 6s. He later received a standing ovation rumored to be greater than Jam Master Jay's at a concert given in New York by radio station Power 105 in January 2003. That's also the number 6. 1 plus 0 plus 5. His new album, Chocolate Factory, was also album number 6. The original charges were filed in June 2002, which is month number 6. His last solo album was called TP2.com, which is short for 12 play, a multiple of the number 6. He was charged with 21 counts of child pornography. When you juxtapose the number 21, you get the number 12, which again is a multiple of the number 6. The new charges dropped on January 22nd, exactly 6 days after his performance in New York for Power 105, January 16. It's also exactly 6 days before his new album was originally scheduled to be released January 28. Since record companies don't like to release new albums during the midst of a scandal, they pushed the date back to February 18th. There are those 3 6s again, which also happens to be during a full moon. I wonder whose idea that was. He was born January 8th, 1969. The month and day add up to 18, which is 3 6s. The year that he was born adds up to 612. 6 plus 9 equals 15. 1 plus 5 equals 6. R is the 18th letter of the alphabet. That's 3 6s. And if you want to break it down even further, 1 plus 8 equals 9. 9 is just an upside down number 6. He was 33 years old when he was first charged. 3 plus 3 equals 6. The press stated that if he was convicted, he could face up to 15 years in prison. 1 plus 5 equals 6. The Ignition song, which was the first release off his Chocolate Factory album, was song number 9, which again is an upside down 6. The number 6 in Roman numeral stands for sex, which is what R. Kelly is most famous for.
The numerology speaks for itself. It indicates that there is nothing random about the charges, the timing, or eventually up to his demise at all. This is something that has been well calculated. It also indicates that whoever is behind the plot has extensive insight into numerology, possibly astrology, metaphysics, and many other so-called dark sciences, which leads to me to believe that this is something far deeper than anyone could have ever imagined. It would seem that there are forces at work here that can't be seen with the naked eye, but exist right outside of our current physical reality. Now for the $1 million question, what energy does R. Kelly possess that would require the forces of the dark sciences to stop him For years now, the secret government has been trying to capture, contain, and destroy this force that is only bestowed upon a few men. Their best computers can't compute it, their greatest scientists can't analyze it, and their mightiest military minds can't destroy it. It defies logic. It's been around since the beginning of times, and when it's in one's possession, it proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that all men are not created equal. It uses the flesh as a conducer, but is not of the flesh. R. Kelly possesses what we call the mojo. I'll use this term because the technical term melanin is a 1,000-page X-file in itself. In the movie Star Wars, they called it the Force. This mojo captivates the hearts of millions. It has the power to heal on a mass level. The barrier of the mojo can be considered the one in his or her chosen field. Michael Jordan has the mojo, which chooses him to manifest his powers through basketball. Tupac and Biggie had the mojo, which chooses them to manifest through the art of rhyme. Tiger Woods has the mojo. Venus and Serena has the mojo. Malcolm X had the mojo, which took on the form of spirituality. These individuals defy the logic of the way the game is played, the words are spoken, and the message is delivered. R. Kelly has been chosen to unleash the mojo in music. This is especially dangerous because the secret government has known for years that music is a natural healer of the people. All diseases can be healed with the proper form of music. Jazz has been healing people for years. Jimi Hendrix music has been known to send its listeners into alternate states of consciousness. He too had the mojo. Why do you think they call major body parts organs? Because when the right person comes along who can hit those notes, play that tune, pull those strings that in essence begin to play your organs, the results can be harmonious, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Music is that powerful. It can make you want to hit a club and start thugging. It can make you feel like you're the world's greatest. It can make you the most thug player you want to go home. It can make you the most thug player want to go home, love his woman, and go half on a baby. It can inspire you to the point that you want to scream, "I believe I can fly." Ladies, how does it feel when R. Kelly sings to you? Do his words hit the inner core of your soul? Can you feel his pain, his sorrow, and joy? Do you feel like every song he sings is to you? That's the mojo. And to further prove my point, when he was first charged with child pornography, women all over the world began denouncing him. Then he started singing again, "Heaven, I need a hug. Is there anybody out there willing to embrace a thug?" And most of us embrace him even stronger than before. There it is. We are all willing to embrace an alleged pedophile because his music does something unexplainable to us. That doesn't logically make sense, but I told you that the mojo defies logic. It bypasses the brain and goes straight to the heart. The ancient Egyptians always threw the brain out after death and kept the heart. Logic originates in the brain, but the heart is what was used to weigh the character of men. R. Kelly is surrendering our hearts. He's pleading to our hearts. He's saying people have a heart. To some, R. Kelly is dangerous because he is a musical healer of the people. When you add the fact that most of his music is sexual, that only heightens the threat. The secret government had the X-Files on sexual energy for years. They know we have the ability to attain great power through sex, but they keep this well hidden from us. In the years to come, more will be revealed about sexual energy. This power is so great that when we have what black people call the freaknik, certain people have to leave the area because the force is too powerful for them to bear. R is rising up this energy in men and women in alarming rates. He's helping us tap into the greatest essence of ourselves. Not to mention that his love songs are repopulating the black community at a rapid pace like Luther Vandross did in the 80s. Just as those who carried the mojo before him, that's just too much power for one man to have, and he must be destroyed at all costs. This case has led us down a path not traveled by many. Whether you agree with all of the information provided or not, for each individual who chooses to take that case with me to decide. I think we all can at least agree that there is something strange going on. Most of us can also agree that R. Kelly is a musical genius. However, you know what they say about geniuses. They are border on the brink of insanity. If they cross over into the world of the insane, it's manifested in many different ways, such as the use and abuse of drugs, alcohol, violence, serial killings, and in some cases, child pornography. My only purpose in taking this case was to see if this was an open and shut case about a crime that's committed every day in this country by doctors, lawyers, congressmen, senators, and priests, with some cases so gruesome that not even the black guy will write about. Elvis Presley started dating Priscilla when she was 14 years old, and nobody said anything about it. Wasn't he the R. Kelly of his time, or is there something deeper going on that most of us can't comprehend because we don't believe in anything beyond the physical? The numerology itself is enough to make you wonder if R. Kelly is being attacked by unseen forces. Let's face it, R. Kelly has the mojo, that special something about him that sets him apart from everyone else. The mojo only uses the body as a vehicle. It knows that the flesh is weak. It cannot be held responsible for the actions of the body. It cannot be tried in a court of law because it doesn't physically exist. So R. Kelly will be tried instead. The secret government may win the battle when it comes to shutting down the mojo and R. Kelly, just like they spiritually annihilated Michael Jackson to do the same, but it will never win the war because the mojo is spirit. It's been moving in and out of the flesh since the beginning of time to get its work done. The question is, does R. Kelly know that he has the mojo? In the movie Enemy of the State, Gene Hackman said to Will Smith, "You have something they want." Will Smith responded saying, "I don't have anything." Gene responded by saying, "Maybe you do, and you don't know it." On one hand, it doesn't matter if he knows or not because the mojo has chosen him to complete his mission, and that's that. On the other hand, if he knew of his presence with him, he would use his power to help fight off the demons he's trying to destroy him. The single ignition indicate that he may have had a clue of his presence instead of veering off the path by releasing a song that downplays the power of his sexual energy. The first few words of the song state, "Let me put my key in your ignition, babe," taking his sexual energy to an even higher level. After a brief detour in his musical career with a gospel-like steppers, I won't call happy people, you say me, he has returned to do what he does best, TP3 Reloaded. But will it be enough to defeat those who are trying to destroy him? Only time will tell. The mojo has the potential to make its presence felt within all of us, but most of us choose to suppress or ignore its potency because we have been brainwashed and thinking a power so great could never exist within us. Yet there are some who are ready to make its presence felt and allow their body to be used by the mojo for a much greater cause. But beware, the secret government has mojo radar, and if your energy is registering up too strong, they'll try everything in your power to find you and destroy you. In my opinion, that's what this case is really about. But for every motor out there, there's a Scully who will say, "I don't believe in all that crap about secret government, 666, or the mojo. This is a simple case about a black man who was guilty of child pornography and nothing else. You may be right, but you at least have to admit that all the pieces don't fit as well as you would like them to. Just like any other X-File, we may be left with more questions than answers to ponder, but we must never stop our quest for the truth. Until we take our next hip-hop X-File, remember, things aren't always what they seem."
So why does that even matter? Why does it matter that the government may want to control a musician? Why would they even want to do that? Anybody?
Why would they want to destroy his character?
Yeah, why would they want to control him? Have any type of control over a musician?
If they would have let him do what he do, he probably would have much people, and they want control. They want a monopoly. They don't want nobody else to join.
Right. Because somebody like a musician who got millions and millions of people listening to his words, he has the influence. Unless they have the influence, So, to influence you is that's their agenda. That's what they want to do.
It sounds like he wasn't a part of their agenda, so that's what they wanted to tear down.
Mm-hmm. Well, the minute they got boundaries, and the minute they try to get out of them, they put them back in check. But I dig what he said about
Elvis Presley.
That's one thing too. That make you look at that situation a lot different. You know what I'm saying? Elvis Presley.
What is that?
He dating a 14-year-old.
Elvis Presley dating a 4-year-old, and was it Woody Harrelson or somebody like that?
No, it's not Woody Harrelson. Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. Yeah. So they got passes. Their careers wasn't destroyed. People still think Elvis is the king of music. You know what I'm saying? Barack Obama even said Michael Jackson could now mention his name by Elvis Presley. As funny as that is, but they didn't get tore down, nothing like that. So you do got to ponder that. And another thing that struck me was when he said R. Kelly helping repopulate the black community. You know what I'm saying? People getting caught up with the love bug. People gonna have on the baby. You know what I'm saying? That's always more black people is always a good thing for the earth. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's a threat to the white society because there's more black people that can be annihilated to just sexual intercourse. You know what I mean? Because the more we have sexual intercourse with them, the less there's going to be of them, and they don't want that. Because that's why you have these things that's happening in Detroit. That's why you have these things happening in Chicago, because they want to contain our population. They don't want us to grow. Because if we grow, that's the end of them.
And they're the minority. You know what I'm saying? But I think every black person should understand white people are the minority on the earth. You know what I'm saying? So when you see, I think they said over 300,000 black people disappeared last year. What was the joint back in the 80s? A dude in Atlanta supposedly killed all them black kids. It can't. They say that was so the CIA can get. I think they was taking something from us, something in us that little black boys had. The CIA needed to take that. So they're always behind the scenes experimenting on us. Tuskegee. Everybody seen what's the Tuskegee movie?
Tuskegee Experiment.
What was the movie though that came out with?
You talking about the Tuskegee Airmen?
Yeah.
What's it?
They did a big Hollywood. Anybody see that?
Red Tails.
Anybody catch Red Tails?
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't really get too much into the Tuskegee Experiment. Where they gave all them brothers syphilis. But that
was different crew.
Different crew.
Yeah, different crew. The Airmen was one thing, but then the Tuskegee Experiment dealt with poor people in that area.
Okay. But it's well documented the experiments that they do on black people.
Trayvon Martin was one. He said when he died, they took some from his body, and then next thing you know, his parents was taking pictures of Jay-Z and Beyonce and stuff.
Well, the organ trade is dead on the black market. Yes, they taking organs out here.
What was that? That kid was in somewhere down south, Trina, where they took the kids' organs out and they stuffed it with newspapers.
Young man was killed in school.
Kendrick.
Yeah.
His name was Kendrick.
Oh, okay. Okay, I heard about
Johnson.
Kendrick Johnson.
And even when Dick Gregory came, he said that Trayvon Martin was the same way. That information did not get dispersed out to the media, but they did him the same way.
Took his organs.
And Jordan Davis.
So whenever we out here killing each other at a mass rate, they're experimenting. They're trying to figure out how to stay on the earth longer.
I got some last words.
Go ahead.
If I disappear for any reason inside of this country, you know what happened. Although, like, if you see my name or my face in the news 10 years from now, I took over the country. I'm just saying. Mama.
So,
one of them was an athlete they tried to destroy was Allen Iverson. So he slipped up on practice and they blew that one practice up into like he missed the game or something.
Yeah. Iverson, way I took it is, he was rebelling against the whole system. I mean, you even look at it, the NBA is the only major sports where they tell men how to dress. There's no other sport where men coming off the court sweating for 60 minutes where they say, hey, you need to be worried about your appearance. You know what I'm saying? And, Iverson just wasn't for that. He wasn't for all that. I ain't saying that was the main thing, but he definitely wasn't for all that. I feel like that's blatant racism. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just sweated this shit. If I want to come out here, I just made you the money. You know what I'm saying? You got 600 million viewers. You know what I'm saying? Shit, who cares what I look like at my press conference? You know what I'm saying? They doing it in hockey, football, none of that. You know what I'm saying? But they tore Iverson down. Definitely. They owe Iverson a lot because all these ballers you see every day out there, from D Rose to Westbrook, they owe their game to Iverson. You know what I'm saying? He changed the game. But a New York rhyme story. In 2001, there was a war going on in New York City. Some of the most notorious, reputed rhyme families were at each other's throats over money, power, and respect. At the center of all the drama was Sean Carter, a.k.a. Jay-Z, Jigga, Hova, the undisputed kingpin of the Rockefeller rhyme family. The Rock sat at the head of all rhyme families in New York, and it appeared that this power and fame had gone to the head of Jay-Z, who constantly flaunted his riches and flamboyant style in the faces of his counterparts. This had upset a lot of families, some much older than The Rock, who felt that the oath by which all families must operate by had been violated. As a result, a sit-down was held with some of the top rhyme families to discuss the business of hip-hop in New York. In attendance were Nas, a.k.a. Escobar, and his Queensbridge family, Prodigy, and his Mobb Deep family, all representing from Queensbridge. Jadakiss, the Lox, and the all-powerful Rough Rider family under the strict orders of DMX. Also present were Fat Joe the Don and head of the Terror Squad family representing the Bronx. I'm sure there were other families present, but these sit-downs are always conducted in complete secrecy, especially if a hit was about to be ordered. The subject undoubtedly was Jay-Z, the illest lyricist to rule New York since the legend himself, the notorious B.I.G. It appeared that no one could stop Jay-Z. He didn't honor the family oath, which required every family to allow each other to allow every other family a chance to eat. He flooded the streets with so much dope product that other families began to take a loss, and he ruled with an iron mic, orchestrating hit after hit after hit. The family felt this was too much power for one man to have, and he had to be stopped. Things weren't always this good for Jay-Z. He began pushing his product on the streets in early '96. He started from the bottom and quickly rose to the top, but it wasn't easy. The top spot at that time was held by the Bad Boy family, headed of course by his longtime friend B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls. They would often talk about joining forces and building a family so strong that no one would be able to destroy their empire. This family would be called the Commission. However, the Bad Boy family at the time was engrossed in a vicious war with the West Coast family called Death Row. So those dreams of emerging families would have to be put on hold until order was restored in New York. In the meantime, Jay kept moving his product in the streets, Reasonable Doubt, and was quickly the raw shit. All he needed now was a break, an opportunity to show the world of hip-hop that not only did he belong amongst the elite, but also that he was the elite. That break would come when his longtime friend and future partner B.I.G. lost his life after the ultimate oath of the families was broken, which was when the war was engaged, which was when the war he was engaged in with Death Row came off of the wax and spilled into the streets. It was retaliation for the rub out of Death Row's capo Tupac Shakur 6 months earlier. One man's loss is another man's gain, and while the rub out of these two capos sent shockwaves through all rhyme families through the East Coast to the West Coast, Jay-Z saw it as perfect time to make his move. Before the New York Syndicate could hold a sit-down to discuss who would be the heir to the throne as King of New York, Jay-Z had other plans and dropped some new product on the streets proclaiming the city is mine. This infuriated the Syndicate and the war was on. Jay knew he wouldn't have his hands full He would have his hands full warring with some of New York's most diabolical rhyme lords, and he needed help to ensure that the rock would never crumble. So he hired a young thug named Memphis Bleak to help him defend the throne so many felt he had stolen. Jay and Memphis grew up in the same hood together. He was a little wild, but Jigga knew he could trust him, and Memphis would bust his lyrical guns if Jigga gave the order. Nas struck first with We Will Survive off the I Am album, and in a tribute to Biggie and Tupac, indirectly dissing Jay for trying to claim the vacant spot left by the legend, and indicated that no one, especially Jay-Z, was worthy of that title. Yet by the time Jay-Z's next shipment hit the streets, Hard Knock Life, he was so potent, he demanded all other families to address him as Hova, the godfather of organized rhyme. No matter who was firing the shots, from the Locks to Mobb Deep, Jay always wore his vest and was able to escape without harm. As Jay predicted on his earlier product, The Streets Is Watching, and when the street thugs began to violate his power, it was a wrap. He was officially named King of New York. This didn't stop Jay-Z from signing a Philly gangster named Beanie Mac Siegel to carry out more hits and to further strengthen the rock for the future battles to come. He also signed a hood fella named Clue, who was his main connection to the streets. Anytime he had some new dope product that needed to be tested, Clue was always the first to get it and hit the customers with the samples. The rock was stronger than ever, but Biggie bestowed some valuable wisdom on Jay before his untimely death. He told him no more money, more problems. And Jigga was beginning to witness this for himself. It seemed like the more money and fame he achieved, the more his enemies came at him. It's the nature of the business when you're on top. But how much could one man take before striking back? Jigga was untouchable, and even though members of his cartel went to war, Beanie versus Jadakiss, Memphis threw a few jabs at Nas, and he was above all of that. By calling himself Hova, he was indirectly telling his enemies, I am a lyrical god. You are all below me, and you are not even worth any of my time. He stated, for playing me, y'all shall forever remain nameless, which rendered his enemies even more powerless, because without mentioning names, they couldn't capitalize on the publicity. This was brilliant. He also stated, it's not real to me, therefore he doesn't exist. So poof, Van Moose. By not even acknowledging that beef existed, he could not be harmed by his enemies. Jay was winning the mind war, but his henchmen couldn't keep the syndicate from coming at the rock. He knew he would have to finish the job himself, but this would prove to be a crucial mistake. When his hottest product to date hit the streets in 2001, called The Blueprint, he gave his enemies names and showed that they did exist. Now they had the life and energy needed to take down the rock. He aimed his lyrical Uzi at Prodigy from Mobb Deep on a hit called Takeover, hitting him at point blank range in the reputation department, even providing pictures of a Prodigy as a ballerina, far from the image of a thug he claimed to be. This left Prodigy's rep bleeding profusely, but Jigga was not done yet. Without even reloading, he sprayed Nas with the rhyme barrage so fierce, most people thought that they were witnessing the end of his career. Even if Nas wasn't dead, Jay left one in the chamber by saying, you know who did with who. Let's keep that between me and you. Making reference to a sexual encounter he had with Nas' girlfriend and baby's mother. Nas and Prodigy were left for dead. Anybody want to go?
I'm deaf.
There have been many rub outs in the history of organized rhyme. Cool, Mo D, Rub, Out Busy B, the Force MCs and Bush, the Cold Crush Brothers was a sneak attack. KRS-One wiped out the entire Clean Bridge organization in the 80s. And L.O. Cool J murdered too many to mention. However, this rub out seemed like it would go down in history as the greatest ever. Jay thought it was over, but he didn't know with that the New York syndicate put a hit out on the rock, and it would be carried out by Nas when he dropped the ether bomb. A lyrical cosmic explosion aimed at the soul of Jay-Z. It was so lethal it left the entire rock running for cover. They never anticipated being hit from a cosmic level. By naming his shot the ether, Nas aligned himself spiritually with the heavens, his ancestors, and all the falling rhyme lords before him, a force too powerful even for Jay-Z to overcome. By the time he reached for his weapon to release that last shot in the chamber, Super Ugly was too weak to even reach Nas. The streets is watching, and when the verdict came in from the hood, Nas was the winner hands down. This was a well-organized hit plan months in advance, with many families playing a major role. From Jadakiss blasting off of Albini to leaking the Rock Foundation to the Dawn, Fat Joe releasing a blast called The King of New York, sending a clear message to the Rock that the terror squad was ready for war. The Buck went underground freestyle courtesy of the Drama King K. Slade, spitting some heavy fire in the Rock direction, and went for them to make their move and take over this entire hip-hop empire. The way they took over jazz and rock and roll, if this is the case, then the Rock was in trouble. Jigga may have had sense that the war was near as an internal beat took its toll and his once tight-knit crew was dismantled. But he also knew that if he was going down guns blasting, so he tried to sign a most ruthless underground group in New York, M.O.P., and linked up with some more Philly thugs named Young Guns to try and strengthen the new Rock. It's too early to tell, but we could very well be witnessing the rise and fall of Rock forever. I started this story by saying there's a war going on. It's more than just a rhyme war or a mind war. It's also spiritual versus a material war with many other factors involved. Everyone knows that rhyme pays, including the government, so when they couldn't shut it down in the early days because of its high demand, they made sure they got paid a very high percentage before the product even hit the streets. Even this wasn't enough. The government wanted to control the type of government that hits the streets more than anything else. The earlier rhyme families also always gave the streets something uplifting, motivating, educational, conscious, or spiritual. This presented a problem for the government. They didn't want product that freed the minds of young hitting the street. This kind of product was considered dangerous and something had to be done. Positive rap was destroyed and came gangster rap, followed by players, pimps, hoes, hustlers, and thugs. From 1991, except for Nas, Illmatic, 5 Mics, The Source, April 94, and DMX, the only product that would sell on the streets was about sex, murder, and material possessions. MCs like Common, Dead Prez, and Talib Kweli were doing the work, but weren't getting the exposure. This type of rhyme reached its apex in 2001 with the release of Jay-Z's The Blueprint, 5 Mics, The Source, December 2001, and reemerged at the top of charts with Get Rich or Die Trying, released by 50 Cent in 2003. Both of these albums had their enlightening moments, but Jigga and 50 are the ones who reap the most benefits of the players. Hoes Get Money era, but this cycle has ended and positive rap is about to take its return. There's nothing anyone can do about it, not even the government, because the ether energy and automatically awakens the souls of kings and queens. Our ancestors always looked towards the heavens for signs and change, and when Nas dropped the ether, which means the upper regions of space, I knew the time of change in hip-hop was upon us. Since then, more and more conscious MCs are getting airplay. During that war, Nas represented the spiritual and Jay-Z represented the material. We are at crossroads in hip-hop, and we must choose carefully, for the fate of hip-hop is in our hands, and the entire world is watching to see how the mecca of the hip-hop world will respond. Hip-hop is a very powerful energy that can be used for good or evil purposes. Many of our hottest producers are ancestral drum beaters who chose to reincarnate at this particular time for specific spiritual purpose. Do not allow the masters of material universe to deceive you into aborting that mission. Many of our best MCs are reincarnated ancestors who taught us the science of everything in life and oral tradition. Let us keep with this rich tradition and use the power of spoken word to uplift our people. Follow the sound of drums and hear the voices of our ancestors as they guide us toward the future of hip hop.
That chapter kind of took me back because I remember a lot of. I was a big Rockefeller fan. You know, this is 2003, 2004, so I remember almost every one of them battles. Jada Kiss talking about being his mom and stuff. I remember it all, you know. But so to see it from this angle though, put it bring another perspective.
Remember when Nas came in and then seven straight. Okay.
That for real. When Ether came out, just like yesterday with the LeBron thing, that's how it was when Ether dropped. That's all everybody was talking about. Everybody. I was at work yesterday. Yesterday at work, all everybody was doing was this. LeBron, that's all I heard. That's exactly how it was when Ether came out. Everything, you know what I'm saying? That's all everybody was talking about.
We even had the middle school or something like that, or high school. We even had discussions on who was the better MC, Jay-Z or Nas, and that was our biggest discussion we ever had. Man, I was like, that took me back, man.
Everybody used to say Jay-Z was better because, in my argument, people say Jay-Z is better because the aim of the game is to make the most money, and he made the most money. But I never, who's a better lyricist? You know what I'm saying? So today, you know what I'm saying? What do y'all base y'all rappers by? Who's the best? Who's the best rapper to y'all right now? Who's the best rapper?
I am.
You are? That's how every MC should feel right now.
I'm sorry.
I feel you.
I'm arrogant.
I feel you.
Very,
It's
very
that MC
arrogant.
energy. Take your head off.
They say Drake because he keep coming like he.
That what they say.
Okay, I say Kendrick because how he says stuff differently. You don't see nobody with his flow. Some people are stealing people's stuff. Like they compare Coco Baines to Drake. They compare a lot of people to Lil Wayne or comparable. Like Chicago, all the people are comparable to each other. Like the same beat. Kendrick hit you with something else that you're not.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Everybody gauges who they think the best is by different things.
Kendrick got that New York style.
Who, Kendrick? He got New York style?
He is from New York, so yeah.
Who?
Yes.
Where?
No.
Kendrick Lamar?
Compton.
He's from Compton.
What?
Yeah, by way of Chicago.
I don't know why everybody keep on telling me that he's from New York.
There's that everybody. They and that everybody. I have a question. Did y'all talk about the Mojo?
No.
We didn't talk about the Mojo.
The Mojo.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice to touch
Wait,
on.
Mojo.
The Mojo, that big thing.
What is Mojo?
Just like that one evil monkey from the Powerpuff Girls.
It's like that spirit of like hitting the high chakra or something. Like when you got it, like when you know you just take off with it.
Yeah. And I think they related to all that what you just said. But then being on that pedestal, you know what I'm saying, being that person that has the mojo, but also people have claimed on to, you know what I'm saying?
How you recognize when somebody got it?
They act all arrogant.
Feel it though.
No, you can feel it.
Wait.
When you watch, you see the
R.
passion.
Kelly's example, I'm telling you, people were following him no matter if you went to gospel, if you flipped to. So some of that stuff, like you saying, was in the media, but they can still feel. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, everybody could play R. Kelly right now. You gonna be in there like, yeah, it don't matter if it's gospel or the bump and grind. You can feel
We gotta go back to Chicago and go to a church.
And who?
I can even say, like with Michael Max, when he talk, you listen. You know?
Definitely.
How about because Martin Luther King too? I mean,
Yeah,
I got a collection of all his speeches, man. Dude, he had it. He had it. Anybody who in modern day right now, you know, because R. Kelly is kind of old school, but R. Kelly's still going to the stage and pack a stadium. But who right now would y'all recognize saying got that mojo?
See, Kevin Hart got mojo.
Okay.
You got the mojo right now.
Yeah, funny mojo, huh?
See, musically, musically, man, it's hard for me to say that they got mojo, or have they tweaked the system so much that they can give it to anybody. You know what I'm saying? You know?
You know who got mojo?
Who?
See, mojo to me is like power.
All day.
Like power, like I could just say anything to get in anybody's head and all this and that to follow me type. Like Chief Keef, for instance. Chief Keef, everybody wants to be like Chief Keef. Chief Keef, he's all about negativity. And now who everybody want to be like Chief Keef. Want to tote guns and shoot other people and this negativity in the streets.
And that's
more murder rates.
That's what I'm saying. Like, have they just cracked the code of being because they've been doing this for a long time. They know what to do with somebody when they get him. Have they cracked the code of presenting anybody? You know what I'm saying? Almost anybody and giving them everything that they need to have a mojo. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because I don't know. I'm torn on that. I'm torn with modern day because I don't think Drake has no damn mojo. I don't think Iggy Azalea has no mojo.
Well, hold on now, because we once again we confusing record sales with mojo. You can sell 1 million records, but you might not have the you might not have the mojo. You might have some good material. You understand? You might have a good performance, but there's a difference. I mean, because really think about it. R. Kelly. I'll give you another example. Bob Marley wasn't even a good singer, man.
A lot of reggae artists on it.
You understand what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I mean, but I listen to Bob Marley
all day.
Fela Kuti,
not a good singer.
Not a good singer.
Couldn't even play the saxophone that good.
But he got 40 wives. You know what I'm saying? He had his own country. Yeah. He got his own sound. He created his own thing. So it's not about the record sales. So I don't want to confuse that. Now they have probably distilled some way to make sure people gonna buy your records. Right. I mean, we got the formula for that. All I got to do is play it so much that eventually somebody's gonna like it. Right. You know what I'm saying? But the mojo. You know what I'm saying? Like R. Kelly, man, when they came out with that whole piece and they showed the video was going viral and people was like, that's him. And then 2 weeks later, they going right back out to buy more R. Kelly. I mean, I don't care how many records you sold. Yeah, that's the most. It's only certain people that could do stuff like that. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So, I don't think they cracked that code. They cracked the code on selling records. They ain't cracked the code on being able to influence, like you said, influence people.
Michael Jackson.
Chief Keef ain't that good, but Chief Keef got a certain charisma that people, you know what I'm saying, that people like. He got a whole clique. He came in the game with a clique of people that was following him. So,
it all depends how you use it in a positive or a negative way.
Right. That's what everything.
And we got people out here that we run into that got that mojo.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got it inside yourself. It's up to you if you want to tap into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like a mojo is the essence of working at its highest self. So it's bright when you have that mojo.
But it don't have to be, because like you said, it could be negative. Because we know certain people who have influence over people in a negative way. You see what I'm saying? So it's not. See, because a lot of times I think we get the spiritual mixed up, because it's like the spirit does what it does, and it's like the judgment is ours. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like we automatically think that if it's spiritual, it's good. There's some it's some messed up spiritual things out there too.
It's a polar opposite.
Right. And then, because we got people that can influence people to do, I mean, everything from drugs to selling their body.
And that's still a mojo.
Right.
Don Magic Wand has a mojo.
Well, he had it. He might have had it. We walk around here looking like a Kermit the Frog and all that green all the time. I don't know.
But it's like that. It's like that it factor. Like, to me, I don't know what the people think now, but Drake could go away. R. Kelly is still on the scene. Still on the scene. Nas, he's still on the scene. Right. It just resurfaced in a different light. You know, that's what I see as the difference. As the guy that did the Humpty Dance when Tupac was in. I mean, or any other person. It's you are operating, to me, when you have that mojo, from your highest self. Period. And so because you are, you shine. Right. Be it negative or positive, like you were saying. So tapping into, you know, to me, why you came here.
Yeah, purpose.
Bringing that purpose, that gift, that allows you to simplify that thing we call the mojo, that extra juice. So if we can't name someone here now that we think that has that, then that's great because maybe we can tap into ours.
Right.
And use our mojo to create that what is supposed to be.
I think there's a lot of up and coming hidden people. Like if you look on YouTube, you could type in something and you will see somebody sing like you've never heard before, but they're not getting signed or nothing yet because I don't know what it is.
Like that sister y'all showed me, she can flow, she can
ask her dad. She like
underground, but she I mean for
she
real,
takes
I don't even want her to get
all the covers and like put her own lyrics to it. She be like helping people out.
Like talking about that girl that she sings and then she has other videos pop up and she rap.
And she sings
she
and
rap and I mean I don't know what that song was. They showed me her. She was the
she
bomb.
kind of white. I don't know what color she is, but she light skinned, but she changes up. And there's some people out there, and it's a white girl that's a dyke, and you never heard her, but how she rap to you, like whoa, like how did you hit me with that? Like there's a lot of underground people, or people just like us that just sitting around like this rap, but you don't hear it until it comes out, and you're like, oh, that's what they had.
What's that other little guy that he's a poet too?
Oh, it's this dude named Spoken Reasons. He's funny, like he got a lot of funny videos. You know, you probably know.
Yeah,
okay, you probably hear. I don't know. We probably don't see the one of the videos, but he's very funny. But when he got some spoken word, and then he got some like videos that's like information, like you. So he just using everything. There's a lot of people out there, but they just not like focal pointed like at all.
Right.
They showed Melvin like some of his parodies.
Is it what now?
Some of his parodies of different songs.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of people out there that just hit.
Yeah. I mean, because it's something anybody can have. Anybody can have the money. You can have it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just by reaching your higher self. You know what I'm saying?
I know some people with a lot of mojo that needs to go away.
Yeah, me too.
Macklemore, that one dude.
I don't want to say Macklemore got the mojo.
I don't know. When you hear Thrift Shop
he has
playing after
fans.
like 3 years.
If you had one song that could just give you a whole fan base, they'd say you got the mojo too, brother. You know what I'm saying? White men can't rap.
Yay!
Huh? You know, I don't really know what the agenda is. What time is it?
It's 5 o'clock.
We did do 2 chapters.
Yeah.
How many do last time?
We did 2.
We did 2?
Let's do 2 a week.
Okay. Cool.
And if it's too long, then we'll just do 1.
Okay.
Do White Man Can't Rap.
Okay. Easy. Yeah, I didn't know about anything physical or anything. You know. I didn't know how long, because we only did 2 hours last time, so I didn't even know, how much time we was going to do today and whatnot. I didn't get.
I think still to 6.
Still till 6. Okay.
We had said we were going to go back to movement, and then how Tim was going to do his
Tim said he's going to do his physical piece. He said he's going to do something.
Oh, you did that for today?
Yeah.
Look, I was like actually meditate, so yeah. What's that?
What's the physical?
It's like no.
I seen your bars you was dropping on the Facebook. What's your little your page called?
Watch out. Calmness out of chaos. Calmness out of chaos.
Calmness out of chaos.
We're doing movement.
What is it going to be about? Because I just like it that you told me.
How Tim said he
The poem?
I didn't get to see
He said
it.
he just go to places, his own poems I just wrote in like
Yeah.
How's your Cardi but coming?
I got a new flow too, man. I got a flow that I think is a lot better than going.
And I got something quick to draw. I got one, but it's like already drew in. It's not. I can't.
Fresh one.
Yeah, fresh.
Fresh one.
That's why I said someone give me canvases, big papers. I would draw the whole entire world.
Why you just not telling me this? Because I'm just not asking.
Yeah.
Well, when you
Every time I talk to you, I talk to you about it.
Y'all doing it here.
I love art. Drawing something.
Yeah, I'll leave the us. You want to do it outside? You want to do it in the room? It's nice.
Yeah, let's go outside. Hello?
look like you got it the way you got it.
He was signing your name on the wall one morning. He put it right by her name. He wrote it off for you.
I need my stuff back.
I'm not about to plug my phone in.
I'll be back here.
What? Thought you had it.
You need to go to the right.
This is new to you.
There's certain habits to have certain operations.
Alright.
How do you know? Say, free body.
Would y'all prefer to eat in the cafeteria? Would you prefer to do it in the cafeteria?
Yeah. What?
Alright, I'll go over to the cafeteria.
Oh, yeah. I'm just like. Yeah, I'm just saying.
So it's the extra 5 feet. It's the extra 5 feet.
I was going to ask you something else. Wait, I have to reach you. We can't do the same thing.
Chicken, back up. Go to the cafeteria with Khalid and do the exercise piece.
And then I was supposed to, you were supposed to come up with the,
You too. Yes, in this cafeteria.
Fine with. What's your name?
turn the mic
Oh, the mic. Oh,
on. Turn it on. It's broadcast.
He said unplug it last time.
It might be on the side.
You just said unplug it.
No, it is. It's ain't on.